Am I wrong for taking my daughter out of the country without telling her dad? I took my daughter 10 to France for a week. We're from UK for a holiday. She missed no time from school and it didn't affect her contact with her dad. We have a child arrangement order and legally I'm allowed to take my daughter anywhere without permission or notice as long as it doesn't affect the contract. I also checked with a solicitor. When I booked the holiday, I sent a WhatsApp message to my daughter's dad to tell him I was taking her on a holiday. I gave the dates, the location, and travel details. I know he has me blocked on WhatsApp, so I knew he'd never see the message. I knew if he knew, he'd kick off and try to ruin our holiday. I know I'm not legally obliged to tell him about our holiday, but I thought it would help the situation if I could say, well, I did send him the details. Anyway, we get to France and we're having a great time. My daughter decided to call her dad for a chat. I told her she can tell him whatever she likes. It's up to her if she tells him we're on a holiday, but I did warn her that he probably doesn't know and might be unhappy. Partway through the call, she mentions we're in France, and he goes ballistic. Screaming, shouting, he demanded to speak to me. I got on the phone but couldn't get a word in for all of the screaming, so I ended the call. He starts blowing up mine and my daughter's phone, demanding we return to the UK immediately. He was threatening to have me arrested for child abduction. I calmly sent him a message stating we are on a holiday, will be home before he is due to see his daughter and that his daughter is happy, healthy, and enjoying a holiday. I told him that he's welcome to call and text her, but to please stop screaming and shouting as it is distressing her. He texted me back calling me an asshole, saying that he'll see me in court. So, am I the asshole? Okay, she has a small but scary update. My relationship with my ex has been rough for years. He was abusive and was furious when I left. I got a non-molestation order, restraining order against him, but because of our daughter, obviously I had to maintain some contact with him. Last week, I took our daughter on holiday. When my ex found out, he was so angry. During handover, which I luckily took a friend with me, he became very aggressive. I tried to defuse, but he lost it and attacked me right in front of our daughter. Police were called and he was arrested. He's in a holding cell right now. Part of me is relieved that others are finally seeing him for who he is, but it's breaking my heart that my daughter is having to see that too. She's been distraught today. She keeps asking me why her dad is like this and I can't give her a good answer. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if he'll go to prison. I don't know if my daughter will have to go back to see him. I'm so uncertain and just so scared.
Am I the asshole for signing up my girlfriend for a social etiquette class before meeting my family?
It's probably one of ours.
Girlfriend and I have been together for a little under 3 months, and we agreed it's time for her to meet my family. For some context, I'm blessed and had a fortunate upbringing. My girlfriend, on the other hand, faced some challenges in her life from a young age, particularly financial challenges. She's a beautiful, interesting person, despite all of the hardships she's faced. The only problem is that she lacks the manners that my family typically expects from someone I'm in a relationship with. My girlfriend is the less fortunate woman I'm dating. For that reason, I made the effort to prepare her for her first dinner with my family. I got her signed up for an online social etiquette course and thought this was a good idea. However, when I told her, she was absolutely furious. She claimed that I'm, quote, obviously embarrassed to be with her and that I should just marry a rich girl instead. She even accused me of being, quote, just another white privileged guy. To make matters worse, she said that it's racially insensitive of me to feel the need to teach her how to behave. So, am I the complete asshole here? Explanations are more than welcome.
Wow.
Sounds like Harry and Meghan, doesn't it?
I know! That's literally what popped into my head.
I have mixed feelings on this one.
I think he should not have signed her up to an online activity, especially without telling her. And they should love her for her, as
Yes,
he
quite.
loves her for her.
Am I wrong for telling my son that his pregnant ex is going to live with us no matter what he says and giving his college fund to her? I, 44 female, am a single mom to my son and he's 18. I work full-time and have a decent amount of money. I also have some savings set aside for what my late husband left us. I've been building a college fund for my son for the past couple of years and he knows this. He was fully expecting to receive it when he graduates this year. Well, over the past couple of years, he's dated several girls for a few weeks to months at a time. They all seemed nice enough and he was having a good time, so I didn't mind, as long as he was careful. But about 3 months ago, he brought home his latest girlfriend, Lisa, 17, and we really formed a connection. She doesn't have a great home life and started seeing me as a trusted adult in her life. Well, yesterday she called me in tears. She was almost hysterical, so I told her, please come over right away, it's gonna be okay. That's when she asked if my son was home, and I told her he wasn't. Am I wrong for telling my son that his pregnant ex is going to live with us no matter what he says and giving his college fund to her? She came over telling me she was pregnant and her parents were kicking her out of the house. So I told her she could stay with us and would always be welcome here. That's when she said she wasn't sure about that. So I asked why, and she said my son broke up with her because she was pregnant. I was furious with him. He was out with his friends, but I called him repeatedly until he answered. I told him I can't believe I have raised such a selfish person who can't even be bothered to support the girl he claimed to love and his own child. I said even if he doesn't want to take responsibility, Lisa and her baby are going to be part of our family and she's going to live with us. I also said I'm going to give his college fund to her to help her start a life for herself and the baby. He was shocked and said I should be in his corner because I'm his mom. I said, F that, you don't deserve to have someone in your corner right now, then hung up on him. That's when he came home late at night and went straight to his room.
This secret comes from Margot.
Robbie. Stop writing into this podcast. We don't have space for you, Margot. For legal reasons. Margot Robbie didn't write it. Yeah, it was never on Neighbours.
Yeah. For legal reasons, this is not Margot Robbie. Names have been changed to protect anonymity. Okay. This secret really belongs to my best friend. Let's call her Brie. She's married to her high school sweetheart Hugh and has 2 children, a 6-year-old boy and a 3-year-old girl. I've known Brie since uni and she is one of the people I'm closest to in the world. I would do anything for her and I know that she would do anything for me, which is why I have a dilemma. Brie told me that Hugh is not the biological father to her 3-year-old daughter and he doesn't know.
Oh, that's big. Oh, that's big. Okay.
My friend only told me when her child was about 18 months old. Brie was going through a major health scare and felt that someone else should know the truth just in case something happened to her. She asked me to keep it a secret. Brie also confessed that I was there the night that she met the biological father. Ooh. I was out one night in the city with Brie for an evening of cocktails, dinner and dancing. While we were at the bar, we met this group of Italian men who were here in Australia on a work secondment for a few months. Brie speaks fluent Italian and immediately started chatting to them, giving them tips on where to visit and what to do in the city in their downtime. It was pretty obvious, though, that she and one of the guys were flirting. Brie and Hugh have been together for a really long time, but this happened when they were going through a rough period in their relationship. They had had their first child, but had been struggling to get pregnant for ages. Hugh was also extremely busy at work and extensively traveling at the time. Anyway, when I saw Brie chatting with this Italian guy, I just figured that she was enjoying the attention that she wasn't getting from her husband and thought nothing more of it. At the end of the evening, she gave her number to all of the guys and told them to call if they wanted any more information about the city during their stay. But I later found out that Brie had gone on to have a 3-month affair with the guy she was flirting with. He is the father to her 3-year-old daughter.
Oh, no. Oh, God.
This guy has no idea that he's the father. They lost touch after he returned home and she never reached out and told him. Brie and Hugh are in a much happier and stronger place in their relationship now. They've been married for almost a decade. They are trying for a 3rd child. You can't tell that the siblings have different fathers. Their daughter really takes after Brie and their son really takes after Hugh. Funnily enough, their daughter's personality is almost identical to Hugh's. It's interesting to watch nature versus nurture play out. I have only once felt that maybe I should tell Hugh the truth. About a year ago, their daughter ended up in the hospital for a couple of days, and I considered telling him in case there were medical issues involved. But everything worked out in the end. I feel like I am between a rock and a hard place. I can understand why she told me and why it is a secret. I've been friends with Hugh since uni too, and I know it will break his heart if he found out. Does he have a right to know? Is it my place to say something, knowing that it would mean betraying my friend's trust and hurting her husband? Or is it better for this to stay a secret?
Sorry, does he have a right to know? Yes.
Yeah. Am I wrong for being in my undies around my boyfriend's brother? I, 20 female, have been with my boyfriend for 3 months. He's my first serious boyfriend and I just started staying at his apartment recently for overnights. Now, I live at home with my family still and we're very open. I walk around in a shirt and underwear a majority of the time and it's not an all-girls household. I have a dad and 2 brothers ages 17 and 14 and I also did it growing up. And if a guest stopped by unannounced growing up, so be it. They'd see us in our bedwear. As you could imagine, I did this at my boyfriend's apartment when it was just the two of us, which he loved. But 2 days ago, his brother stopped by and I came out of the shower in a t-shirt and cheekies. When my boyfriend saw me, he immediately whispered to me to put some pants on, which I did. But when he left, my boyfriend asked me if I was trying to seduce his brother. I told him I meant nothing by it and also do it at home. Now it's been 3 days and he hasn't asked me to sleep over again. Am I wrong?